One more time, Sacramento, how are we feeling tonight? All right, well, my name is Aaron Cameron.
I am Jasmine Shaw.
And again, welcome to Model Bootcamp 4. This is a very special event, and there's so many beautiful faces in the audience. A round of applause for yourselves. A round of applause for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys are looking so stunning.
Ooh, you want to use this mic? Yes, this mic. Okay, so the man that we're about to bring to the stage is pretty much responsible for why we're all here, okay? And I just want to really make a huge deal out of this. This is his 5-year anniversary of being a full-time photographer, okay? This is a huge deal. It's not easy to leave your job to do something full-time like this. So this is a very special event for him and for all of us, really, because we're about to learn so much tonight. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are really in tune with what's going on. I've seen some people coming in with notebooks, so it's good, all right? You're about to do your homework, all right? So, you want to introduce?
So give it up to the multi-published, multi-covered, the man, the myth, the legend of Sacramento, Christopher
Pollard.
Thank you. One more time for Jasmine and Aaron. Thank you so much, man. This is truly a blessing being here for all of you today. And yes, this is my 5-year anniversary. However, this event is not really about me, right? It's about you guys. So everyone who's here in this room today, it means that you believe in investing in yourselves. It means you have a high desire to learn and grow. So one more time, a round of applause for yourselves. Not everyone took a chance on this event like you guys did. So again, thank you for being here, and congratulations on taking that step towards your career. So I have a little bit of notes here in case I forgot something. It's not a long speech. No. You want to spin? Shout out to my stylist, Mariah, helped me out with the fit. But first and foremost, before we get started, I want to go over a couple of housekeeping rules, make sure we're all on the same page. We have a positive, high energy in the room today. So rule number 1 I have is just respect the speaker. People have traveled here literally hours to be here today to speak with you guys. And we all know in this industry, it's a little bit unheard of. There's a lot of gatekeepers. They don't want to tell you their secrets of how to create success and how to get to the next level after they've already accomplished it. So we're going to respect the speaker, keep the chatter to a minimum. We will allow time for you guys to mingle again and network. We'll have an intermission for that, and we'll have time for a Q&A. So we want this to be a very interactive event, and to get your questions answered, so all of you have your walk away with what you wanted to learn here today. Actually, can we hit the lights one more time? Can we turn on the lights a little brighter? Thank you. Number 2 is respect yourselves. Respect yourselves and each other. So the person sitting next to you right now, it doesn't matter if this was day 1 or day 1,000. The next person sitting next to you could be the one giving you an opportunity later on in the future. A year from now, they could be the decision maker, or rather not, you get that next job, or the one that referred you to that next job. Me being a photographer, 15 years now, maybe 16, kind of losing track. I've gotten many jobs and earned many thousands of dollars, actually, just through referrals of other photographers who couldn't make the job, and they called me for that opportunity. So that same thing can happen for you guys. So respect each other, respect yourselves. And number 3, take notes. Take notes, be open-minded. Like I said, some of you that are just getting started, and some of you, this may be something that you already know, maybe some information you've already heard before. But me, I can speak for myself on that personal development journey. I've had to heard the same thing multiple times before it clicked in my mind. So we're all coming in here kind of with a blank slate of what we maybe don't know or maybe we need to know that we need to stop doing, right? So both sides go hand in hand. And last but not least, who's excited? Yeah, we want to keep that energy going in the room today, and we want to have a lot of positive aura in this environment. I spoke with somebody earlier today. I forgot who it was. I think she's new to modeling, and she came to me. She said, "Everyone here is so nice." And I was like, yeah, our community is tight-knit like that. Like, we just get along together. We did a casting call maybe a couple of months ago, and it didn't matter if you slayed it or you kind of stumbled down the example runway walk, but everybody clapped their hands and gave each other cheering. And so we want to keep that positivity going with this environment. And also participate. Participate in this event, ask questions, and we will allow time for us to, we have some pre-designed questions for our speakers, but we want to take questions from the audience too. We want to make sure you walk away with what you wanted to learn here today. All right, so, and how could I forget? Take lots of pictures. We want to show Sacramento how we do it, show the world how we do it in Sacramento for the modeling community, because we don't always have to travel to LA. We don't always have to travel to New York. We can do things here and get the education we need and learn the proper way of doing that. So take lots of pictures. Shout out to J Moore Studios. She got a nice backdrop there in the corner that she designed. And shout out to Fantasy Creations by Nicole. Helped me out this backdrop here in the corner. Lots of photo opportunities. And I thought it would be valuable to, I guess, tell a short story about these last 5 years, how I got started with this, how Model Bootcamp first started. And is that okay with you guys? Yeah? Okay. You guys can have a seat. Yeah, you good? All right, stand. So, 2018 is when I left my job. Prior to doing this, I worked for the state of California for 13 years. 13 years working for the state. And I always get like kind of two responses from leaving the state. I was like, oh, that's a good job. Like, you shouldn't have left that. You should stay there, benefits and all those things. And then as soon as I tell people where I worked for the state, they go, oh, okay, I get it now. So I worked for the DMV. Nobody likes the DMV. As soon as I tell people that, it's like, oh, I hate the DMV. I was like, how do you think I feel? I work here. Like, nobody likes to go inside, and the employees, it's a whole thing. So I actually did enjoy working there for the first couple of years. I tried to work my way up the corporate ladder, and it just didn't pan out for me that way for whatever reason. And so I left the DMV version where you go in and get your license and registration, and it ended up going to headquarters. So it's a little bit slower pace. I don't have angry people in my face all the time. So I thought, okay, this could work. Maybe I'll go up the corporate ladder this way. And what I realized is the coworkers are sometimes just as bad as the customers. Everybody's complaining. Everybody's negative. Eventually it became clear to me that this wasn't where I'm supposed to be. And this is the point where I began my personal development journey. I started looking, scratching, crawling, trying to learn anything I could that's going to remove me from this environment, because it just wasn't for me. It became unself-fulfilling, unrewarding. I felt like I wasn't making a contribution to the world, right? So what did I do? I started going into different business ventures, trying this, trying that. You ever met somebody, they're wearing a nice suit? And you're like, hey, what do you do? What do you do? You're driving a nice car, what do you do? Oh, I want to do that. I should do that too. I need to make money. Let me try that. And I would try those different businesses, and I would fail miserably. Fail. Because I didn't believe that photography was going to take me there. I didn't believe that, I'm not crying yet. Not yet. But I didn't believe that photography could be that, because I only made a couple $100s on the weekends. You know, it wasn't life-changing income. It wasn't getting booked on a Tuesday afternoon. Like, who does that? Everybody's at work, I thought, you know. So I started trying these other businesses, and that's what pushed me even further down a personal development journey, because there was businesses that I saw other people successful in. They are doing the exact same thing I'm doing. They're saying the exact same words. It's the same business. They're successful. Why not me? Why not me? That was the biggest thing for me, like being able to look in the mirror and being like, what am I doing wrong here? I'm following through the steps. Why is it so complicated? And I just lost my words there for a second, sorry. I just started learning, right? I went on a learning binge. I started reading, started meditating 2-3 times a day. I stopped answering the phone. Hey, you want to go out this weekend? No, I don't. Like, I'm trying to change my life, bro. Like, I don't care about the football game. I don't care about the club. None of that. I really went on a serious, focus-leveled learning binge to try to change my situation. Because I didn't want to sit at a desk and just grow old. Which I definitely could have done. There was people there 2-3 times my age, sitting there doing the exact same work I do. When you're done with that stack of paper, here's another stack of paper to do. It was just mundane, right? So with that being said, fortunately at headquarters, I was able to listen to headphones at work. So I would sit there for 8 hours, literally plugged in, listening to audiobooks, YouTube affirmations, podcasts, anything I could do to learn, like, what do I need to change back to that, right? What do I need to do different to change my situation? And there's a quote that I learned. If you're taking notes, you might want to write this down, is, if I want things to change, I must change. If I want things to be different, I must be different, or I must do different things. Right? You're trying to get to where a next level, and you're repeatedly doing the same things over and over. That's insanity, right? So I have to do something different. I have to learn what is it about me that I need to change so that I can be this successful person that I imagine myself being. So, it got so bad for me that I would drive to work through traffic, get out of the car, walk up to the building, and be like, I forgot my headphones, and go all the way back home just to get my headphones so I could plug in, so I didn't have to listen to people's negative complaining for 8 hours a day. It was that bad. I didn't care how late I was. That's how serious this was for me. And so at this point, right, my coworkers all know, my managers know, like, everybody knows I don't want to be here. It's written all over my face. My energy, I'm walking in with Starbucks late, like, I don't care. Like, I'm leaving eventually. I'm going to figure this out. And so it probably took me, honestly, probably about 2 years of just learning and absorbing information and disconnecting from people that were in my circle that weren't adding any value to my life. That's one of the hardest things, even if they're family. Like, I can't talk to you no more. I'm on a mission. Bye. Don't even answer the phone no more. See you later. And it's nothing malicious. It's nothing, I still love you, but I got a goal. So that's where I was at. So like I said, my managers, they knew, employees knew. Me and my manager had conflict at this point. And one of those days, I'm writing down affirmations. I actually did this every day. Affirmations, I am this, I am that, right? All the things I wanted to be, I wrote it as if I already was. I wrote my goals past tense, as if they had already happened. One of those goals was, I quit my job before my daughter turned 5. That was the goal. I quit my job before my daughter turned 5. So she's probably like 2 or 3 at that time. And I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going. This is where I'm going to keep on learning. I'm buying course after course. You know, I'm downloading information. I'm reading. I'm doing everything I got to do. And eventually, I'm coming to an end here. This is the point to this story. real close to the end. My manager comes over one day, and he looks over my shoulder. I'm writing down notes. I'm writing down things about Model Bootcamp. I'm thinking about how can I grow my business? How can I create multiple sources of income through photography? Because everything else was a failure. When I picked up the camera again, it just became easy, effortless. Everybody wanted pictures. Everybody wanted to book me all of a sudden. As soon as I focused on what I'm actually good at, people started gravitating towards me. So I'm like, okay, cool, this is where I need to be. It's easy for me. I don't even have to think about it. I could pick up a camera and take a photo, and it's effortless, right? Everything else felt like I was hitting my head against a brick wall. It's super challenging, unnecessarily, right? So I'm writing down goals. I'm writing down Model Bootcamp, and eventually my original goal was we're going to do this big 3-day event. There's going to be like 500 people there. We got guest speakers. We're going to do all this stuff. You know, I like to think big. I go way above and beyond. And so I'm writing these things down. And my manager comes over, and he looks over my shoulder. I'm writing goals. And I notice him looking, like reading into my journal. I was like, I closed my journal. I'm like, what's up? What's up, man? Like, what's going on? And he's like, he's angry. I could tell. What are you writing? Angry look on his face. What are you writing? I said, ideas. He sticks his finger in my face. And he says, you are not allowed to be creative here. You ever seen a light-skinned man turn red? I was hot. I was so upset. Like, there's no, I stood up, and he probably thought I was gonna hit him. I'm like, I told him, I remember everything I said, but I remember us saying, there's nothing you can do to stop me from being creative. There's nothing you could, I would never stop, ever. So I tried to handle that the professional way. I went up to HR and complained. They couldn't do nothing about it, of course. I ended up leaving early that day. I was so upset. But I felt like that was like a defining moment for me. Any fear, any doubt, any worry, any insecurity that I had that this wasn't going to work out for me, that I wasn't going to be able to quit my job, that solidified it. I'm going to leave this place no matter what. It's no longer a question. It's not an option anymore. I'm not allowed to be here. He literally told me I'm not allowed to be here. So January that year, we had calendars of the whole year. We pinned it on our desk. And what I would do is I would just X off every day. Like, my goal was to quit before my daughter turns 5. Her birthday's in October. Her birthday was last week. Happy birthday. She just turned 10. And so I would X off every day, like another X. So I'm like, January, I got 10 months. I got plenty of time. I'm going to stack up. I'm going to work on my business. I'm going to grow. 6 months rolls around. All right, cool. Like, I got 6 months. I got time. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. 3 months rolls around. Like, I'm not ready yet. Like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to do it? Am I going to stop? And that's actually when he told me, he put his finger in my face and told me I wasn't supposed to be there. And within that, I think it was within that 60-day time frame of me quitting, that's when we had that conflict. I left. Within a couple of weeks, I was turning in my 2-week notice. And you can clap. Yeah. So that's how it started, right? So I left. My last day was probably like September 28th, something like that, whatever last day of the month for the state is. And a week later, my daughter's 5th birthday, and we went to Disneyland. Yeah, we had a great time. And so my point of that story is that some of you may be experiencing challenges that you feel like is unnecessarily complicated. Like, why is this so hard for me? And it's either one, you need to look in the mirror and be like, what am I doing wrong? Stop blaming other people, situations, circumstances, whatever they may be. What do I need to do to change this? And number 2 is really getting around the people who are already doing it, who have proven success, who can show you the steps, even if they're not telling you, hey, this is step 1, this is step 2, but you can closely observe. Hey, this person is doing it, they're living the life that I want to live. Let me go and observe as much as I can so I can know where I need to follow my footsteps. And this is why we put together events like Model Bootcamp, because we're bringing professional photographers on stage. We're bringing agency owners, literally owners of the agencies, to tell you, hey, this is what we look for in a model. And of course, Kenya, right, an experienced, established model, to say, hey, this is how I did it. And you may not be able to follow the exact same footsteps, but you have proof, if there's ever any doubt in your mind that this is a real job, a real possibility, a real thing that you can make money as a full-time creative person, all the evidence will be here on stage today. So that's why we do Model Bootcamp. The first Model Bootcamp we did, maybe 30 people. Shout out to Nicole, our guest speaker at that time. The second Model Bootcamp, we had, 25 people. It was on Zoom because it was during the pandemic. We had to do everything virtually. And then Model Bootcamp 3, about 2 years ago now, I think we had about 40 people total in the room, which was cool. It was good. All those events were great. And now here we are, Model Bootcamp 4. Got extra dressed up. We're feeling good. We have over 100 people in the room today. So I'm excited. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening to my story. That's the end of it. But I really wanted to share that with y'all because I believe it's all mindset. We hold ourselves back from doing the things that we know we're supposed to do in order to get to the next level. And yes, there's a skill set involved. You do have to learn the skill. You have to master the skill. But what good is the skill if you never put in the effort behind it? Right? Thank you.